Hey, I'm Heather and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is a place where I coach busy moms who want to grow their business and be present with their family and do it all without burning out. I am a certified life and business coach, and I have worked with hundreds of women to help them have a more heart-centered business and to let go of the hustle. Today, we're talking about success habits to start now. If you don't already know, habits are one of the best building blocks to accomplish your goals, because what habits do is they build a system into place that helps you to improve by 1% every single day. And when you add up all of those small little changes, it equals a huge transformation and a huge result in your life and your business. I want to just start by saying that the way that I coach people is not so much on the actions that they need to take, but on the thoughts that they can think, because our thoughts actually create our emotion and our emotion fuels the action. So here's an example. If you want to accomplish a goal of growing your business to $100,000 this year, there's a whole bunch of action that you're going to have to take. And a lot of the habits that I'm going to share with you today are going to help you take that action. But if you know the right action to take and you are not thinking powerful thoughts to fuel that action, you're not going to take the action, even though you know exactly what you're supposed to do. So some of these habits that I'm going to share with you, you've heard before, but maybe you're not doing them. And so the question is, what are you thinking about each of these habits, and how can you think something powerful about them that will fuel you to take action? I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you want to start the habit of working out every day, but you're not doing it. So you need to ask yourself, what am I currently thinking about working out? Maybe you're thinking it's really hard, or it doesn't feel good, or it's really time consuming, or I'm not getting the results that I want. All of those thoughts create emotion. Let's look at the thought, I'm not getting the results that I want. How does that make you feel when you think that thought? Maybe you feel discouraged. Maybe you feel frustrated. Now, let me ask you this, is discouragement and frustration good motivation to take more action? I think not. If we want to take more action, then we need to feel motivated, excited. Anything is going to be more helpful than feeling discouraged or frustrated. But if you want to feel motivated, then you're going to have to think something other than I'm not getting the results that I want, because that thought is not creating motivation. So we work backwards and say, okay, I know I want to take the action of working out every day. I know I need to feel motivated in order to take that action. What do I need to be thinking to create the feeling of motivation? So maybe it's a thought like, working out is giving my body a gift. Working out is a way that I can say thank you to my body for carrying me through this life. Something that actually feels powerful for you will create the feeling of motivation and then cause you to follow through on the action. That's the foundation of this video, and I'm going to talk you through now some of the actions that I know will change your life in 2021. The first habit I want you to consider putting into place is your morning routine. And now I've talked about this before, and if you haven't already done my 10-minute morning challenge, I would encourage you to go and check that out. I'll put it in the link below this video. But I want you to be intentional about when you wake up and what you do when you wake up, even if it's just for the first 10 minutes. Now, for me, my habit is that I wake up around 6:30. And I usually wake up with my youngest, and we go downstairs and I put on a show for him and I dig into my 10-minute morning routine. So I make my coffee, I sit down, I do my 4 journaling prompts. And then if I have more time, I get into some of my work for the day, just get a little head start or do some reading. Whatever it is that's going to work for you, I just want you to be intentional about it. So much of our life we spend reacting in the moment rather than being intentional and planning ahead. All of these habits are really going to encourage you to be intentional in these different areas of your life. I want you to write down, when do you want to wake up and what do you want to do for that first 10, 15, maybe even 30 minutes, depending on your lifestyle. If you have that luxury, what do you want that time to look like? What things do you want that time to include? Habit number 2 is setting an intentional evening routine. This is something that I'm currently working on. I haven't been that consistent with this, but I am trying to incorporate two main things in my evening routine. Number one is to actually do a bit of reflection on my day and ask, when was I most heart-centered today? When did I feel most aligned with my values and my desires? What went well today? And then alternatively, where was I slipping into my ego or into hustle mode or into performance or people pleasing? Those are some of the things that I struggle with. So where was I out of alignment today? Where was I not in touch with my values and desires? That's the first part, is the reflection on my day. And then the second part is the meditation. I usually don't meditate in the morning because when my kids are around, it's really hard for me to focus. But I started to include that before I go to bed, and it really helps my brain to slow down. It helps me to clear out some of that noise. Meditation really helps me to calm down my nervous system and prepare for a really restful, deep sleep. I want you to think about, what is your evening routine? And don't go into the overwhelm of it has to be like 10 steps and it has to be so elaborate. Just pick one or two things that you want to do before you go to bed. One of my friends, every night before bed, she washes her face. And this is like a cue for her to start to unwind and to turn off her brain. Maybe it's something like that. Maybe it's taking a hot shower. Maybe it's doing some stretching. Whatever it is, I just want you to intentionally set an evening routine and start to incorporate that into your life. The third habit to start now is to be intentional about what you are fueling your body with. Yes, be intentional about what you're eating. What I would recommend is planning ahead. And here's why we plan ahead. When we plan ahead, we activate our prefrontal cortex. That is the part of our brain that can actually think about our best interest in the long term. It doesn't just in the moment think, this is what I want. It thinks about what's going to be best for me in 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now. When you plan ahead, you use that part of your brain and you make the decision ahead of time. And then when you get in the moment and your body is reacting more in your primitive brain or your habitual brain, it makes it a lot easier for you to follow through on the healthy decision that you made earlier in the week. I would suggest on a Sunday, sitting down and doing a really simple meal plan. What I do is I do the same breakfast every day. I do a very similar lunch every day, and then there's more variety in our dinners. Whatever works for you. This is not prescriptive. This is just a way to create some structure around what you're eating, because if you don't fuel your body with good fuel, you're going to feel tired, you're going to feel sluggish, you're going to feel exhausted. So this is a way that you can really help yourself to be at your prime so that you can show up most fully for your life. The fourth habit to start now is to plan your week. Instead of stepping into Monday like, I don't even know what's going to come at me and we'll just fly by the seat of our pants, I suggest taking 1 hour on either a Saturday or a Sunday to write down all of your to-dos for the week in all of the different categories: your family, your business, your personal life. For me, this week, my list included things like booking a dentist appointment for myself and the kids. It's something I've been putting off for a long time. So that was more on the personal side. Then there were some things in my business, some emails I needed to send, some things I needed to check up on. And then there was also some things in my relationship. I wanted to schedule a date night with my husband. All of those things get put onto the to-do list, and then we take all of those things off of the list and put them into our calendar. Give them a spot in your calendar. If it lives in your calendar, then you know that it's as good as done as long as you honor your calendar. And I have a whole YouTube video about this, how to schedule your week, so I'll also put that in the link below this video. The fifth habit is I want you to be intentional about how much time you spend on your phone. This is a really triggering subject for me because I tend to go to my phone when I'm in discomfort. I tend to spend a lot of time scrolling on Instagram, checking my emails, looking on Facebook. I tell myself that I'm doing it to check up on my business, but really I'm often doing it to escape from my difficult emotions. And what I've realized is that my phone is actually a place that takes my energy. It doesn't give me energy. It doesn't fuel me. It drains me. Now, when I'm being intentional about it, that's different. When I decide ahead of time, this is when I'm going to use my phone and this is what I'm going to use it for, especially around my business, then it feels really powerful and life-giving. But the rest of the time, when I'm just aimlessly scrolling, I know that it is sucking my energy. I take a few minutes and write down what are the tasks that I want to do on my phone and how much time do those tasks take, and then schedule in time to do those tasks. Really intentional about putting your phone away when you're not using it for those intentional tasks, and create some habits that are going to be more aligned with how you truly want to be spending your time. So the one theme that I hope you're seeing through all of these habits is intentionality. If you make a conscious choice about each of these areas in your life, your morning routine, your evening routine, what you're fueling your body with, how you're planning your week, and how you're spending your time on your phone, it's going to give you more time and energy for creativity, for building your business, for being present in the relationships that are most important to you in your life, so that when you get to the end of 2021, you can look back and see how you changed and how you took action and what you created and put out into the world. I would love to hear in the comments which of these 5 habits most speaks to you and you want to work on building this week. And then I want to challenge you to actually follow through, even if it's just on one of these habits. If you build these in slowly over time, the small 1% changes that you make will add up to massive change and transformation in your business. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with a couple of people who you think would benefit from it, and we will see you next week.